Good morning out here in the nursery. Welcome to A to Z Gardening this morning. Things have started to shift from the annuals and the vegetables and the herbs to maybe the outside landscape, because it's been a fantastic year to continue planting container grown trees and shrubs. We haven't had 100 degrees. We haven't had a lot of adverse conditions that would slow down your nursery planting. And in the early spring, you see a lot of accent plants that people rave about, talk about in that early spring, but now would be the great time to get them established in your landscape so that next spring they're the talk of the town in your landscape. What I have here is some selections of red buds that you might not even been familiar with. There's lavender twist here. Don't worry about the green leaves, because it has other really neat interests. Okay, it gets about 8 foot tall, has a weeping leader that it comes down, so it has a really unique kind of fountain look to it. But the winter effect to this plant is the zigzaggy branches that it shows. So even when the plant is asleep or dormant in the winter, you get that really cool zigzaggy effect. Don't forget, it's a red bud, it's zone 5 hardy, and it gets that early bloom, that really dark pink, very rosy color blooms right on the stem. So you get that zigzaggy pink effect. So other types you might want, if you don't have quite that much area, this here's Ruby Falls. Ruby Falls is going to be only about 6 feet tall, very fountain-like, going to grow right down to touch the ground, and it has that red leaf to it, okay? Still zone 5. It's only going to get about 6 foot tall. Beautiful specimen. Again, it still has that rosy bloom on that arced habit early in the spring, zone 5 as well. And then we start going to the bright green, or that chartreuse leaf here. We have the golden falls as opposed to the ruby falls. This will come out in the early spring. There'll be a little bit of a bronze look to the green, or to the new foliage that comes out, and then it will turn this chartreuse green. This one here is going to get about 10 feet tall in that kind of weeping habit, very columnar or upright, so it's good for kind of elbows in area in your landscape. Container grown as well, zone 5. And then one of the newer friends here. This plant's even become very hard to get in the nursery, very sought after. I saw it a couple of years ago when it was on trials out in Chicago. It was one of the very few specimens that were actually in public display. It is called Flamethrower. It's called Flamethrower because just like this one, it had that little bit of a bronze. This one shoots out new foliage that is brilliant red. Then it even turns a fantastic color. The leaves turn a fantastic color even in the fall, and it still has that nice that rosy bloom on the stem itself. This plant, though, a little bit larger in your landscape, is going to get about 20 feet tall, so your brand new friend in the red bud family. I bet you didn't even know there was all these friends in the red bud family. Can be in your garden if you plant now for early spring bloom. For any questions on red bud and any other your landscape plants, feel free to contact any of us professionals here at Stan's.